Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and I am HIV positive. This is my channel about living my life with HIV in case you're new. If you're not new and you're just joining me again, hi, how are you? How's this shelter in place going for you? It's okay here. I have no complaints. I'm still getting unemployment and I'm kind of having like a lot of free time with my kids. Get to keep my house really clean, get to cook more, get to go for a run every day, sleep in. I mean, I don't know, I really don't have a lot to complain about. So it's not so bad. And there's not any stress to like go anywhere. So I kind of like that. I think I am a real hermit at heart. I think I just kind of enjoy being inside. Although I do go out and run every day and walk the dog, so the dog's really enjoying that. He's taking a little snooze over here. Hi, Finny. He's out. Okay, so today's video is going over some questions that were asked of me in the last couple of videos that I did. First of all, I get this a lot, just how am I in general. People ask me, how are you? How is your health? I feel like I always kind of answer that in videos, but just to start this off and let people know, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Is that good enough? My CD4 count, if you want to know, is around 400. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd like it to be higher. I don't feel that at all. I feel like it's 40,000. I mean, I don't know. I feel fine. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd love to see that number be up in like the 700, 800 range. The closest it's been, I think I hit 500 one time. I don't know. I've kind of like plateaued in the 400 range. I don't know why, but I'm not a sick person. I'm never sick. So, yeah, I've kind of considered, I haven't done it, but I've sort of like wondered if I should do the CBD thing. Some people say that would boost my immune system. You know, I don't eat meat. I don't know if that's affecting it in any way, and I'm not willing to eat meat to get my CD4 to go any higher, if there's some correlation. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like, it'd be fun to see it go up higher, but I know actually like it for me, I don't feel any different, and I'm not, like I said, I'm just never sick. So I'm doing great. Of course, I'm undetectable as usual. Actually, I said in the last video it said not even detected. So, and I showed the it's called Ochin, OCHIN. My chart is the software they use for where I go to see the doctor, so I can see, you know, my results online. And when it says undetectable, it'll say less than 20 copies shown, but then sometimes it goes to the extreme and it'll say not detected, and then it's in black, meaning they can't even detect it. Like from the sample of blood that they got, they can't find it in there at all. So I actually look like I don't have HIV at all. I do, but it doesn't look like I do, according to the test. So, and you know, it's just that there's still those little hidden particles, those virons that the medication can't get to, that are being suppressed by the medication. I always do this, the drug pressure. And that's, the medication just can't get to those guys. So speaking of that, somebody had corrected me. I said I was speaking about NRTIs, which are nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. Yes. I said something about them reversing HIV. I don't, you know, I'm not a scientist, and like I honestly don't really think about how this all works inside of my body down to the cellular level, but maybe I should. I don't know. I'm just not an expert on it, but I said something about it reversing HIV. And he says NRTIs don't reverse HIV. They stop HIV from turning its RNA into DNA, which would then get integrated into the host cell's DNA. Or in other words, HIV, so this is what I just got off the internet. What they do, and this is like abacavir and lamivudine, those are two of the drugs that are, I thought my medication was there. Those are two of the drugs that are in my medication. Of course, I have three altogether. Dolutegravir is the third. But those NRTIs that are in my medication, they treat HIV by suppressing the virus to undetectable levels is really what they're doing. But what I got off the internet, and the correct like definition here, is HIV infects white blood cells in the body's immune system. Those are called T helper cells, T cells, all the same thing. The virus attaches itself to the T helper cells, or the T cells, or the CD4 cells. We don't really call them CD4 cells, but we say CD4 count when we're like counting those cells. It then fuses with it, takes control of its DNA. and then it replicates itself and releases more HIV into the blood when you're not on treatment. When you're on treatment, it's stopping this whole process, okay? So that's basically, I hope that made sense. So I just wanted to clear that up. I sort of misspoke and said it reversed, but it doesn't. Well, it's confusing because it says nucleoside reverse transcriptase. So I hear the word reverse and I just thought reverse. But anyways, that's that. Somebody asked, does Triumeq only come in that dose, or can they adjust the milligrams? So the one that I take is 3 drugs in one. I believe I said it was like 600 milligrams, 50 and 150. I don't know, bacavir, dolutegravir, lamivudine. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me right now. No, the one that I take is just that specific dose because those 3 drugs can't be adjusted. They're all in one pill. Oh, I was going to take my pill. It is time for me to take it. This is not alcohol. It's Canada Dry. It's just sparkling water. I love this stuff. Okay. Oh, there's my pill. Okay. I touched it after it was wet. Got the purple stuff on my finger. Helps it slide down more, I guess. Anyways, so those medications were all separated on their own, which they can be in that form also. Then I'm assuming that there are different doses of like a bacavir by itself, lamivudine, and dolutegravir. But as one pill with all 3 drugs in it, Triumeq, which is what I take, there's no other doses available. That's it. You just take that one pill. I mean, if there is, I've never heard of it. My doctor's never recommended it. I don't know anything about it. I've never seen that. So, will your body ever develop an immunity to this medication and you'll have to switch to another? That's possible. Anything's possible. Is it common? No. As long as I'm taking my medication as prescribed and not like forgetting to take it here and there, going off for 2 weeks, going back on, you don't want to mess with that. You just want to continually take it because the virus is really smart and it tries to figure out a way to get around it. So if you're doing things that are disrupting the regular flow of taking it every day, then that could affect it eventually, like helping you, and it could end up working against you. So, as long as you're taking it as prescribed, good chance it's not going to do that. So I'm not worried about it. I've been on it for 4 years, and we also have our blood checked on a continuous basis. I still do it every 3 months. My doctor has me every 3 months, which I love. I love knowing what's going on in my blood. But, eventually it'll probably be more like every 6 months. They want to see that you're on a pattern of being undetectable for like every single time you go in, and then eventually they stretch it out longer and longer because they know the medication's working. So it's not that you need to be so micromanaged. If you're following the instructions, taking it as prescribed, and it looks like the patterns are the same, it's pretty obvious that things aren't going to change. Okay, let's see. Does my medication make me cough all the time? No. In the last video I did, I talked about having, vivid dreams, which I think are awesome, and having a little bit of a headache or queasiness about an hour after I take it. And but other than that, insomnia, which I've really fixed because I'm taking this earlier in the day. It's better. It's not 100%. I don't know. I still wake up. I always have to pee during the middle of the night, so sorry if that's TMI, but that always kind of re-wakes me up a little bit just because I have to get out of bed. And then sometimes it takes me a little while to get back to sleep, but not too bad. I'd say I feel like it's better. I really do feel like it's better since I took it earlier in the day. And yesterday, I don't know, I just wasn't hungry. I got up kind of late and I didn't have anything to eat. By 2:30 when I took my pill, I still hadn't eaten anything. I was a little afraid to take it because I thought, I have nothing in my stomach. I haven't eaten since the night before. And I took it, and it was interesting. About 30 minutes later, I started to feel a little bit, and I thought, oh boy, is this going to be like, because I have nothing in my stomach, am I going to feel like I'm going to, and we were out. I just didn't have food around me or whatever. I was wondering if it was going to make me feel like I was going to actually throw up, because you've probably all experienced this. If you take certain vitamins on an empty stomach, you actually will, like I've had that happen. Like it happens so fast. All of a sudden you get that like, oh boy, and it's like you get the cold sweats, and then you're like barfing or you're dry heaving. Zinc I think does that. Anyways, I kind of was like worried because I was out with my daughter going to the grocery store, and I thought, I hope that doesn't kick in. It didn't. So that was kind of a little experiment. I took it on a completely empty stomach. And I got a little queasy, but nothing crazy at all. And it, like I said, it usually doesn't last long. But coughing, no, I've never had that. Okay, the antiretrovirals you're on should protect you from COVID. They block the same receptors that are in all retroviruses. I keep hearing this. Again, my doctor didn't confirm it. She said there's no studies done. But yeah, we like to think that that is what's happening. Obviously, we want to feel like we're more protected because we're already taking antiretroviral therapy. So hopefully, and this is for a virus, I'm already taking medication to stop a virus. So yes, I hope that my medication is helping me, but really there's no proof that it truly is. But I'm hoping for sure. Somebody asked about Atripla. That's an older medication. That was the first medication I was prescribed because I didn't see an HIV specialist. I saw an infectious disease doctor who didn't know much about HIV, so he put me on Atripla the same day he saw me without even having any of my blood work back. This was I've talked about this in other videos. He completely screwed up because I could have been resistant to that medication, and that could have messed me up for being sensitive to other medications if I had taken the wrong medication, basically. Thankfully, I wasn't resistant to Atripla. I took it for, 4 days. Oh my God, it made me super sick. I hate to scare anybody away from medication for fear that they won't test. A lot of people use the word toxic, and I can't stand using that word in reference to medication. Like this one's cleaner or this one's more toxic than another one. Toxic is a horrific word when referring to medication that I have to take every day. I don't feel in any way that I'm taking anything that's toxic for me. I don't feel like I'm putting in chemicals into my body that are like, ravaging my body and making me sick. I don't feel any of that. So that word toxic is just, I hate that it's even used in conjunction with HIV medication ever. I feel like there's got to be a better word. Because, and I don't want to play down HIV, of course I don't want to play it down, but I don't want to scare people who are afraid of this virus, mainly just people that are afraid to test for fear that they would have to take the medication. And I was looking up the medication online, and there's some crazy recommendations about side effects. I was looking up Abacavir, and it was saying that you should keep a card with you that says if you get any of these are the more normal side effects. If you get this, there was something lactic acidosis, like a buildup of acid in your blood. It's like fatal, like scary shit. And I have to say my doctor is extremely conservative, and she's never even gone over that with me. Like she didn't put that fear in me, but on the internet, it kind of makes it look like this is, you're dealing with a really scary medication that could just, kill you at any moment. And I'm like, I've never been warned of that by my doctor. I mean, it was never presented in that way. And the stuff on the internet is just, it's awful, I swear. Okay, so enough about that. And I just wanted to mention, of course, U equals U, undetectable equals untransmittable. When a person reaches an undetectable viral load, they can no longer transmit the virus to a sexual partner. This also goes for pregnancy as well. I don't talk about that much, but women won't transmit HIV to their babies when they're undetectable. It's like less than 1%. I don't know. I haven't heard. I know some women who have had babies that are HIV positive, and their babies didn't get it. I haven't met anybody yet who's had that happen to them, unless they got pregnant. They got it during the pregnancy and didn't know it, and then it was passed on to the baby. I'm assuming that's obviously one way where it can happen. They recommend obviously that you're undetectable, that you're taking your medication as prescribed. Also that the baby takes medication for 4 to 6 weeks after the baby's born. It's kind of like post-prophylaxis. It's just like if somebody had an exposure to HIV and they were concerned that they'd been exposed, then they would within 72 hours go on Truvada, and that's post-prophylaxis. It's the same medication that's used for people who are having more high-risk sex. And then they call it pre-exposure prophylaxis. That's PrEP. All Truvada, that's the name of the medication. It has to be, prescribed through a doctor. Anyways, so the baby, I don't know if the baby is given Truvada. Honestly, I don't know exactly what drugs are given. I'm sure you can find that online, but they take medication for 4 to 6 weeks. This is all just in the prevention of making sure that the baby doesn't get the virus. And also, breastfeeding is not recommended. Depends where you live. I know that in some places, if the water is really, there's parts of Africa where they would say, yes, take the risk. Breastfeed, because you can't be giving them the water. It's not clean water and mixing it with formula. So I know in the U.S. they don't recommend it. They say that even if you're undetectable, it's possible that it could still be passed through breast milk and breastfeeding. The baby's immune system is so fragile at that state, and it could still be in breast milk. Apparently, I don't think any studies have been done yet. The last I heard is that none had been done. You're not supposed to breastfeed, basically, but as far as giving birth, it's they say less than 1% possible chance of transmitting. Okay, so that's all for now. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on this video, it would be much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram and now TikTok at VonGirl24. If you'd like to support the work that I do or this channel, I would be so grateful and appreciate anything that anybody would like to do to help. There's a link in the description to my website. You can check out my website too, jennifervon.org. I don't talk about that very much, but it's still there. It's still there. Okay, guys, that's all. Stay safe, wash your hands, social distance, I don't know, limit your excursions, and get out and exercise. Get those endorphins going and feel good about just breathing cleaner air. Apparently the air is cleaner. Okay, guys, I will see you soon. Bye.